Hello there, person. I don't know who you are. This video is on my YouTube channel. It's for my Tumblr website, and it's probably gonna end up on Facebook too. So whoever you are who's viewing this, hello, and thanks for watching. I just want to share a little bit about my latest writing project, which is called Alio. Alio is a short science fiction novel that I'm writing that takes place in the not too distant future. The Earth itself is pretty much uninhabitable. There's been wars, economic disaster, famine, all kinds of post-apocalyptic stuff. No zombies though, sorry about that. And humanity is still living there, just trying to scrape by. The protagonist himself is just one of those people, and one day there is word that a previous space expedition finds out about this other planet that can sustain life. Through certain situations, this protagonist becomes part of the team that leaves Earth in order to find this new world. And that's really where the name Alio comes from. Alio is Latin for other world or another world, so it makes sense. This project of mine, Alio, is unique because number one, I don't write novels. Truth be told, I don't write anything longer than my college papers. Number two, I kind of want to push the boundaries to how stories are written and presented. I want to incorporate into this project my poetry, my drawings, and the written out story itself. But rather than doing the typical format that you've seen before, where it's just like, well, here's a picture illustrating a point in the story, or here's a random poem in the story itself, like Lord of the Rings or their songs and stuff, I want to have it so that it is poem, picture. If I had a third hand, this would make it even better. Poem, picture, and written out narrative all side by side. So rather than having this sort of awkward break where it's like, bring the story, now it's something else, everything is presented to the person on that page, and it's really their decision where to start first. Each thing, the poem, the picture, the story, they tell the same plot, but they are slightly different in how they tell it, and they're kind of independent from each other. So it's pretty crazy. I've never seen that done before in a book, so I thought I'd try that. It sounds really cool. The story itself sounds pretty straightforward, but rather than it just being a story, it's sort of like a coming-of-age philosophical piece that sort of invites the reader to intellectually dialogue with it. But it doesn't have any definitive conclusions. For example, the end of the book, there are at least three possible scenarios as to what happens. So there are three possible endings depending on what you believe is actually taking place in the book. So yeah, I'm trying to flesh that out. Interesting stuff right there. This story also echoes a lot from myself. It has a lot of my personality, a lot of darkness that I've gone through, and I would also argue that it's sort of like a human experience type thing where we've all experienced some of the same type stuff. It poses implicitly hard questions like, how predictive is human behavior? To what extent can I control the future? And how much freedom is in free will? So yeah, that's pretty much the summary of my project, and you can check out the writing process and how it's going at projectalio.tumblr.com. Projectalio.tumblr.com was originally going to be the site where I was going to release the book chapter by chapter, but I'm not sure if it's going to be the right format to show the threefold structure that I want it to be. So that's something that I'm going to work on. So yeah, thank you for watching. And if you are curious about my other poetry and are not aware of it, I post my other poetry at alexofander.tumblr.com. So yeah, I'll see you around.